Hi everyone, welcome to Pretty Girl Rich Era. Today we're diving into women sharing their stories of abuse during pregnancy. This topic is very traumatizing to some, so this is your trigger warning. If this topic triggers you, please skip this video. I understand. You can read the comments if that would be better, but please don't get triggered. Don't fall into a slump. I won't be sharing any commentary at the end of the video, so I will see you all in the next video, and thanks for watching. Let's get into the video.
When y'all be talking about forgiving people on how they treated you during your pregnancy, I just shut up. Because I could never forgive nobody. I'm not giving nobody no ticket. Oh, it's okay, it's life, none of that. I would never forget how anybody treated me during my pregnancy. I would never forget. I'm not giving out no badges, no free pass, no. Like, that's the problem with some of y'all. Y'all be too forgiving. Like, I be thinking, like, when I forgive, if I ever was to forgive anybody on how they treated me during my pregnancy, that's me disrespecting my kid. Because it's me looking at it as like, oh yeah, while you was in my stomach, they was doing me wrong, and I still was in their face. That's I always look at it like, oh my God, that's me disrespecting my kid, because it's like I didn't really care enough for me to cut them off because they treated me. They try to risk me of a miscarriage. They try to take my first pregnancy away from me. They try to take my joy away from me. I could never away anything anybody ever did to me during my pregnancy is gonna stay that way, and I'm gonna hold my grudges. I will heal in hell. Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say about that.
Ladies, let's discuss having a baby with a narcissist, the pregnancy stages, and what you should and shouldn't do and what you should avoid. Now, I didn't have a baby with a psychopath. I successfully raised my daughter by myself. She is now 21 years old. So I've been through the family court system. I've put my baby father in jail. So this advice I'm giving you is some sound advice. Whether you take it or not is totally up to you. You know at the time that you're pregnant whether or not your baby father is abusive. The signs were there before he got you pregnant. Having a baby is not going to change his abusive ways. I'm telling you, some of y'all think, oh, a baby will make him softer or more kind. No, it will not. Once a man is abusive and he's showing you he's abusive, he's going to get worse. Narcissistic men love to harm you when you're vulnerable. So now that you're pregnant and he knows you're going to keep the baby, he knows there's a new life growing inside of you, and that you have to rest and you have to, maintain your strength, and you have to eat well for the baby. That baby is relying on you for everything. And this is where the narcissist will turn up his abusive behavior. He will either abandon you, and he'll have his toxic mother and sister watching you on Facebook or trying to keep tabs while he's in his new relationship. So they're reporting back to him how you're doing during your 9 months up until you have the baby. Because he is waiting for you to have that baby. Because once you have the baby, he has secured you. You're his meal ticket. If you decide to maintain communication with your baby father during the pregnancy, he's going to treat you like shit. He's going to verbally and emotionally abuse you. And some men even beat and put their hands on their pregnant girlfriends and wives. It's very real. They don't care about that child that is growing inside of you. That should be a huge red flag that he's going to be a horrible father. Yet and still, y'all still put the man's name on the birth certificate. You still try to force the baby on him. He is showing you the signs during your pregnancy that he is going to put you and your child through pure hell for the next 18 years. Please be smart and recognize the red flags while you're pregnant. He should not be allowed to come near you while you're giving birth. Don't even tell him when you go into labor. Don't let him sign that birth certificate. Because when you become entangled with him in family court, he's going to drag you to hell and back, honey. And he's going to fight for custody. He's going to bring his mama and sisters to testify against you. Matter of fact, before you give birth to the baby, you should be planning to move far away. Move far away so they can't reach you. Give your child a chance to grow up healthy away from your abusive baby daddy. The signs are there during your pregnancy.
Having a child by the wrong person is an irreversible mistake that we do not talk about enough. Motherhood is not a joke. Ask anybody who's raising a child. So to make a critical error, like choosing a man that is not sane to be your partner in raising that child, is just too much of a risk. And I think we as mothers, or the older generation in my case, need to be very vocal about warning women about this. Because there's this narrative in society, and you see it a lot on social media, that you should have known better because you saw other people go through it. And while that's true, I don't think we speak enough about what the mistakes are. So a lot of times women make a mistake and they don't understand what that mistake is going to lead to. So they might let one thing slide in a relationship, not knowing that, in the next 6 months, they're going to end up pregnant with this man's baby and not know what to do. And the thing is, once you're already pregnant, you are making a very time-sensitive decision under pressure. And we do not give enough weight about how easy it is to make the wrong choice in that type of scenario. So ladies, please, if you are sexually active, always have on the forefront of your mind that can lead to you becoming pregnant. So you have to consider, A, if I get pregnant and this guy stays exactly how he is right now, because we're not doing anything based on potential, am I okay with that? And a lot of women will even tell you that there are men that they were dating whose behavior got significantly worse after they got pregnant with that man's child. So even if you're with a guy and everything seems to be going well, consider the risks of his change of mind, of his change of behavior. Men as a whole do not like responsibility. They do not like being held accountable. Fatherhood comes with a lot of responsibility and accountability. A lot of men get women pregnant and then get angry at the expectation of these women for them to be fathers. Understand, a lot of men want a child. They do not want to be a father. So please, I'm begging you, think about these things. Once you have a child, there is no going back. And I know a lot of mothers don't want to say it, but they regret having their child. There's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, those kind of decisions are decisions you can never come back from. So I'm not going to judge someone because they went into something and realized, oh, this is not necessarily my strong point, or this is not necessarily what I want to be doing with my life. Sis, I see you and you've got this. So please, ladies, especially young ladies, understand that all of our actions with men have consequences, and some of the consequences are very permanent and very traumatic. So please take your time before you get put in a position where you have no time. Okay? Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule for best results. Assume it's not you. Mwah.
So someone asked me, how do narcissists treat you when you are pregnant by them? And of course, if you're near, I'm actually a diagnosed narcissist. So sometimes narcissistic people will spaz out when you become pregnant by them, or when you get them pregnant. Sometimes when you become pregnant by them, they will absolutely start the discard phase. They will discard you and try to treat you horribly and sometimes they will ghost you through the entirety of the pregnancy. And strangely enough, right when you're about to give birth, right when the time of birth arrives, that person might try to hoover you and come back into the picture. Yep. In your moments of vulnerability, that narcissistic person might swoop back in the 9th month and try to be a super parent. Hey, I'm sorry, I haven't been there. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I needed to do, but I know what I want now. I want my family back. I want us to be a family and be together. And does that work when they pop up right before you go to the hospital and things like that? Yeah, it does work sometimes because you're vulnerable. Just stay safe and follow my YouTube channel.
Men will sleep with and impregnate women they're jealous of. Just read it. I want to allow you to read it, guys. Reproductive abuse. This is real. This is why them videos that I made about the narcissist making you beg for financial help and basically abusing you financially comes down to this. Because they make it out like, oh, you women are beggy. Okay, you take the child every day. You make 3 meals a day. You do all the hard work of raising a child. Let me go chase my dreams. Let me go make money. And let's see who's begging at the end of it. Don't do that. Don't do that to women. Don't do that to women. Don't do that to women. Sell them dreams and then boom, leave you stuck and struggling. And I know a lot of women have lost stuff. They've had money. They've had great careers. A lot of these toxic people go for women who are successful, go for women who are ambitious. They're not going to go for bums. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for all of them. Reproductive abuse. It is true. It is real. And this is what keeps you stuck. This is why when the relationship is over, they've cheated, you've cheated, whatever the situation, the abuse still happens. You could be in a different city. The abuse carries on. Reproductive abuse. Look it up.
This isn't necessarily for you, but any man that cannot give you an ounce of peace, an ounce of respect while you're carrying that baby, you don't even need to be around him. You're not going to be able to be around him. I'll tell you why. Pregnancy was a preview of how things are going to be when that baby get here, okay? Only a handful of situations change after the baby get here. 9 times out of 10, he's showing you what it's going to be like when that baby get here. The last thing you need to be is stressed. The last thing you need to do is bring stress upon your baby. Like, don't be putting your life on the line for this nonsense. End of discussion. Next caller.
Being pregnant by a narcissist, oh my goodness sakes, these people love the attention. They love it. So because you're the one who's pregnant and they're not getting all the attention, they're going to have their days. Some days they're going to be supportive, they're going to be loving. Other days they're going to treat you like shit. They're going to blame your mood swings on you. They're going to blame your food cravings on you. Like, asshole, did you not know this is normal? It's like they just have a problem with anything. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You could be going through a transition. You could be going through just having lost your mom like I did last year. You could be pregnant like you were, or like I was, or many of us. You could have lost a job. You could have lost a child. And they're going to make you feel like shit. Like anything that you're really going through, they're going to make you feel like shit. And then when you get tired of their bullshit and you finally leave them, they're going to act like, how dare you leave me for treating you like shit? Ironic.
Let's talk about pregnancy abuse. How a man will use pregnancy against a woman. He will weaponize pregnancy to set her back and keep her stuck on stupid. A narcissist is a womanizer. And, you know, whether he's living with his fiance or he's actually married, there's a pattern where he continues to get his wife pregnant. All his children are close in age and he has multiple babies, but it's not for the reason that you think it is. To the outside world, it'll seem like he's a loving father and he wants a big family and he's loving on his wife and he just got to knock her up and keep her off her feet. Oh, but it's the contrary. We're talking about a narcissist here. The reason that he keeps knocking up his wife and they have baby after baby is to slow her up from getting in his business while he runs the street. If she's pregnant and off her feet or she's busy with the children, she can't keep tabs on him while he's running the streets with his side.
When you decide to have a child through pregnancy, essentially, especially when you're a Black woman, you're also deciding that you're risking your life to carry it. Like, I could die. Pregnancy is one of the most vulnerable and dangerous positions women can be in. And unfortunately, men are aware of this, which is why for most women, the first time they're ever hit, the first time they're ever slapped, the first time they're ever punched, the first time they're ever spit on is while they're pregnant, often during their 3rd trimester. All of this is for a reason, because we understand the vulnerable position that women are in when they are pregnant. Now, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, also called ACOG, says that 1 in 6 abused women is first abused during pregnancy. More than 320,000 women are abused by their partners during pregnancy each year. Now, there's an article by the British Columbia Reproductive Care Program, a 23-page article called Intimate Partner Violence During the Perinatal Period. It states here, violence may begin and or escalate during pregnancy, or it may diminish. Of the Canadian women who reported being abused by a marital partner during pregnancy, 40% said that the abuse began during pregnancy. Some studies have shown other patterns during pregnancy. For example, in a study of 199 abused women, 18.1 of the women were abused during pregnancy, but not the year before. Yes.
If somebody treats you like shit when you are pregnant, they are not going to treat you or that baby better once the baby is born. This applies to the co-parent, the father. This applies to friends, other family members. If they treat you like shit when you are pregnant, it's done. They're out. It's over. Pregnancy is one of the most vulnerable times in a person's life. If someone does not treat you with the utmost respect and consideration during that time, that is not someone that you want to be around you or your future child. I know some people want to believe, well, maybe they'll treat the baby better than they treated me, and you want to give whoever this person might be a fair chance at a relationship with the child, and I understand that. But the reality is, if they cared about the child, they wouldn't be making you feel like shit when you're pregnant, because when a woman is pregnant, the baby feels what the mother feels. So if they don't want the baby to feel anxious and depressed and sad and whatever it is, then they shouldn't be making the mother feel that way. You deserve better. Your baby deserves better.
And what makes it even worse is most women will never be able to forget it. Like, I've heard stories of women that, have gone on to have other kids and be in other relationships and be married. And they say, from time to time, they still have those thoughts and they remember those feelings. And for me, my son just turned 3. I still remember how I was treated during my pregnancy. I still remember things that were done and said during my pregnancy. And it's not that they affect me so much now. It's like those actions are tied to that moment that was, supposed to be so beautiful. That moment where you're at your most vulnerable. And that moment when you were supposed to be held sacred and at least shown the utmost respect. That moment was tainted. And most women just never forget it.
For some reason, people were shocked to hear that a narcissist will ruin your entire pregnancy. They will discard you and make you go through your entire pregnancy, birthing experience, and postpartum alone. They will come back around maybe when the baby is a couple weeks old or a couple months, just to try to act like they made an effort to be in the child's life, just to save face for people who ask questions. The whole time it is just, once again, another mask, another facade. They do not care about you. They do not care about that baby. They have no feelings. They have no empathy. They do not care about your child, yourself, your healing journey, your postpartum depression. They do not care. So long story short, don't involve them into anything. I decided not to have mine a part of my baby shower, my birthing experience, or my postpartum. I tried to allow him to be a part of my baby's life as long as I could, up until he decided not to be. And there's nothing I can do about that other than go to court. And I'm just deciding to do no contact because I don't want him to be a part of my daughter's life at all, because he chose not to be. The number one thing that somebody was very surprised to hear is that narcissists will try to name your baby after their other supplies. They will try to name your baby after their ex-wife, their ex-girlfriend, their high school girlfriend, their high school girlfriend's mother, their high school girlfriend's best friend. They want your child to be intertwined in their web of deceit and lies, and then they want to put those same demons that they have going on in their life into you and your child. So if you allow your narcissistic baby mother or baby father to name your baby, you can bet probably your entire bank account the name came from somebody that they dated, somebody that they also discarded, and it was in a web of lies and deceit with. And when it comes out, they're going to actually laugh at you and make jokes about it because you're the idiot who allowed them to name your child after one of their ex-lovers. And last but not least, I don't know why this was surprising or shocking to hear, but a narcissist does not love their baby. They do not love that baby at all. They have no feelings or emotions towards that baby. That baby is nothing but a crutch to get to you. The narcissist got you pregnant purposely to always have eternal access to you, to torment you, and to bother you and keep you in the same broken cycles. They never loved or cared about you either. So I find it very odd that people don't believe that the narcissist doesn't care or love their children either. They never cared or loved you.
Hey, I just want to say this to you guys before I go ahead and jump in the shower, but judge that man based on the way he treated you while you were pregnant. Yeah. I know a lot of times we like to say, don't judge a man on his past, he can evolve, but judge that man on the way that he treats a woman or you while you are pregnant with his seed. Okay? Definitely judge him. Definitely judge him. Because if a man cannot get his head up out of the crack of his dirty, crusty, shitty ass to consider you and the well-being of that baby that you are carrying that is 50% his, baby, There's no amount of respect, there's no amount of fucks to give that's going to make me ever think that a man like that is worth respecting ever. Because he can choose to be selfish any other day out of the year. But while you are carrying his seed, he chooses to act the fucking donkey, slut ass. Yeah, judge a man by the way he treats you while you're pregnant. I'm going to forever stand on that. And the crazy part about it is, it's women who have been through shit while they were carrying their children. We never forget it. So, I don't give a fuck if you turn over a new leaf. I don't care if you decide to have a gender reassignment surgery. I'm never going to forget the way that you treated me during the time where I needed you most. So, judge that man based on the way he treats you while you're pregnant. Period.
Okay, y'all know I'm never the one to come up here crying, but one thing I will never understand is people who stress a pregnant person out. Like, you really got a special place in hell to even feel like you should stress one out, especially so early in their pregnancy. Like I get so scared to stress out now, because I just feel like, what if I lose my baby over some fucking stress, bro? Like, people that really don't realize the hormones and the shit that's going on through a pregnant person's fucking body, and how already fucking alone they feel, and let alone have someone just fucking gunning at them. Like, bro, this shit, like, I'm telling you, a special place in fucking hell for y'all people, I swear to God.
If you've ever been pregnant in a relationship with a narcissist, you'll know how awful it is. What, you think being pregnant makes you special? It's just another way for you to get attention. Why are you complaining about pregnancy symptoms? It's not like you're the only woman to have ever gone through this. You're just being weak and dramatic. You're getting kind of fat. It's disgusting. You're just using the pregnancy to manipulate me into getting whatever you want. I'm not going to be fooled by your tricks. Get you a drink. Get yourself a drink. Your legs aren't broken. I don't have time to deal with your pregnancy nonsense. If you can't handle it, maybe you shouldn't have gotten pregnant in the first place. Can you relate? What did the narcissist say to you when you